Hello online crew, how are you? Welcome to a new week in my part of the world and your part of the world. I hope you've all had a fabulous weekend. It is Tuesday morning already in my part of the world, but for a lot of you it'll be Monday night. So whatever you're doing, I hope it is amazing and fabulous and you had a lovely, restful and amazing time on the weekend. So what I'm going to share with you today is a really interesting discussion around, are you cut out for this entrepreneurial thing? Are you cut out to have a side biz? Like, are you really up for it? So let's ask some questions today to see whether you are. And I've got comments today. Woohoo! We've got Crystal. Hello, Angie. Hi, Olive. Hi, Monica. Hey, Mel. Hey, Tara. Good to see you on. Hello, Jen. Great to see you on live. And great to see that I've got comments today. It's always nicer when I can see who's on and see what you're saying. So welcome, welcome. Put the palm tree emoji down there. That's the mascot for our awesome online crew community here. And if you've not caught a live of mine before, please let me know so I can give you a special shout out. Hello, Amber. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Patricia. Good to see you on, Patricia. So if we've not met before, there's a strange car coming up my driveway. Well, they're going to have to wait because I'm on live with you. Yes. Hello, Lynn. How are you? Hey, Yvonne. Hello, Vivi. Good to see you on. We've got Tara. Amazing, amazing stuff. So if we've not met before, my name is Helen Martin and I'm your online crew captain. I am here to serve the most amazing online crew community that we have here. And we're entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, network marketers, direct sellers, those in MLM, all of the above, and we are here to learn how to leverage social media to build our business online with modern strategies. So we don't want to chase anybody to buy anything off us. We don't want to chase anybody to go into business with us. We truly want to attract people to us online. So how we do that is by, learning modern online strategies, but there's one big factor that we have to take into consideration here, and that's you. And what I mean by that is I go live 5 days a week here. So all sorts of social media training, but if you're not aware, at the beginning of the week, which is now, I talk about something to do with, is the car gone? Isn't it interesting when strange people pull up your driveway? We've actually got quite a long driveway. Sorry, I'm distracted, guys. At the beginning of the week, I talk about something to do with personal development, personal growth, things to make you think so you can be a better version of yourself. Then I talk about all things sort of social media, online sort of training, attraction marketing and Facebook Lives and social media strategies, all of that during the week. And I finish off with a social media tip of the week. The reason why I always start the week like this is because it does not matter what skills I teach you guys about building your business online and social media strategies and the latest thing to use and all the rest of it. It does not mean squat if you don't have it going on up here, if you don't have the right mindset, if you don't have self-belief, if you're not self-driven. There's a lot of qualities that make up the characteristics to be successful in this business. You guys know that, do you not? Like, it takes a special kind of person to be successful in this kind of industry. It takes a lot of self-motivation and things like that. So I'm going to ask you 7 questions today. 7 questions that you can assess for yourself. Is that me, or do I need this or that? And depending on how you answer these 7 questions will give you a good indication as to whether you're going to be driven or not to make it in the entrepreneurial world. So some people don't see this, but when you go into a side gig, you don't see yourself as an entrepreneur. But I tell you, if you're going to do a side gig, a home-based business of some sort, network marketing, direct sales, MLM, that type of thing, it is a side gig for most people. If you get to the point where you make it, full-time, awesome. That's what, everybody's striving for. But it takes a special kind of person to do that. And whether you believe it or not, or even thought about it before, you are moving into the entrepreneurial world. There are things that it takes for you to be able to execute and to be driven by and to be willing to do that the average person won't, to be successful. And these 7 things that I'm going to, ask you are some of the things that people are not willing to do. And they think it doesn't work. They actually think, well, it's not my fault. It doesn't work. It's the company's fault, or it's my upline's fault, or there's always blame going everywhere else. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you. And if you don't have the right traits, then, maybe, you might not be cut out for it. The one thing I will say though, you may not have these things yet, but if you've got the drive and you are willing and you've got a vision for something, you can still get there. So when I ask you these 7 questions and you go, oh, no, and you're sort of going, I don't know, it's okay. You can overcome it, and you can, as long as you've got the drive to have the awareness around what it actually really takes to be successful, then you can do something about it. If you're sitting back and you have no awareness about it or what it takes to truly be successful in a side gig, then, you can't do anything about it. So I bring this to your attention to make you realize it's tough. And I don't say that to, to scare you or say that you're not set up for this industry or you'll never be successful in this industry if you don't meet these 7 things. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying let's raise your level of awareness about what it takes. And if you're not willing to put the work in, if you're not willing to sort of see these kind of things and make some sacrifices, then either it's going to take you a lot longer to get where you want to go, or it's unlikely that you're going to be successful in this kind of business, okay? So let me go into it. So I'll just get straight into it, okay? Number 1, do you actually need a job description and a boss to get things going, to do things? So think about that for a minute. Most people want to be told what to do. So people often say to me, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I was that student. I was saying to my mentors early on in this entrepreneurial journey, I'm a hard worker. I've got a great work ethic. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just tell me what you want me to do and do it. Entrepreneurial world doesn't work like that, guys. That is very much coming from an employee mindset where you've got a job description, you know what you're doing, and if you're not doing what you're doing, your boss is going to crack down on you and say you're not doing what you need to be doing. We're going to performance manage you, and if you don't lift your game, you're going to lose your job. So you're always accountable to something like a job description or a performance appraisal or something like that, and it keeps you going. And it keeps you on the right path because you know exactly what you're doing, you know what your job is, and you can perform and get better and become successful at that. The entrepreneurial world's not like that. I wanted to be told what to do. I wanted the job description and I just wanted to follow it to a T and go, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I'll do anything. I just want to make this work. But the entrepreneurial world is not like that. It's not black and white like that. It's not black and white like a job is. There are so many moving parts. There are so many different things and different directions and different, obstacles that come your way. So if you need a job description and a boss to get things done and to be successful, being an entrepreneur is not for you. You have to be willing to just try things, and if they don't work, they don't work. You have to be willing to explore. You have to be willing to learn a lot before you get anywhere. There are so many things you need to learn becoming an entrepreneur, and there is no job description for an entrepreneur. There's no boss when it comes to being an entrepreneur. There's no one, and that's why I would always say to you, find a mentor, find somebody that's in your corner, find a community of people that are all doing the same thing so they can lift you up when you're falling down. Or that you can reach out to somebody and go, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do next. I want to give up. And that there's somebody in your corner going, no, you won't. I won't allow you to do that. You've just got to get over this hurdle. It's all a learning curve. We often fail before we succeed in an entrepreneurial world. So yeah, just assess for yourself. Do you need a job description and a boss to get things done? Hopefully, you might be sitting there going, well, yeah, it makes it a lot easier because I go to work and I know what I'm doing. In the entrepreneurial world, it's all up to me. And that's why I'm not doing the things I know I need to do. I get it, guys. We're all like that. But as long as you're willing to see that for what it is and go, okay, I understand. This is a totally different business model. I don't have a boss and I don't have someone saying, right, do this, do that. I mean, you might have a mentor that's saying, do this, do that, but largely they're not going to be over your shoulder every step of the day telling you what to do, because the entrepreneurial world doesn't work like that. Okay. Number 2, are you happy to sacrifice time with your friends and family? I don't care what anyone says. If someone says you're in this for the time freedom and you can do what you want when you want and life is wonderful and all that crap that people feed you, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, it takes hard work in the beginning. You get the rewards later. And yes, there are things that you can do. Like I do all my bits and pieces that I do, all the different income streams and everything that I do from home. I have freedom. I have time freedom if I want it. If those kids have got something on at school, I can go. The kids, between my husband and I, we pick them up, we drop them off, we do whatever we want, we get them to their sports. Like we have that freedom. Awesome. But for me to sit here and say to you, I don't sacrifice any time with my kids or my husband, that would be a complete lie. I work damn hard at what I do. I have done for, a good couple of years in this online world. And I've sacrificed certain things with my kids, time with my kids and my husband, and certain things because I'm working. When you're in the online world, there is no clock that stops. You're dealing with different time zones. I deal with people from all around the world. I wake up to a mountain of messages. I could not go to bed if I didn't want to. I didn't need the sleep, because there's always something to do. There's always someone's question. There's always something I can be building, growing, creating, whatever. It does not stop. There are sports games on like a Saturday morning of football, if that's miles away and it's freezing cold and I want an excuse to get out of it anyway. Saturday mornings, my kids have sport. I'm still on live with you. I'm not hanging around with the other parents, having coffee and whatever. I hide in my car. Well, I'm not hiding, but I'm in my car going live with you. There were always sacrifices. So are you willing to make sacrifices? And some people will go, no, I'm not willing to sacrifice any time with my family. Well, you're not going to be successful as an entrepreneur. I'm sorry, you just won't. There are always going to be sacrifices, more so in the beginning than later. If you put the hard yards in the beginning, then you will reap the rewards later, and there'll be more income and more freedom. But that just doesn't get handed to you on a silver platter. You got to work damn hard for it in the beginning. And are you willing to do that? If you're not willing to do it, this entrepreneurial world, a side gig, it just won't be. It won't be something that will build your empire if you're not willing to make those sacrifices. So, it's just the way it is. Anybody that says that they did it in their spare time and they've got all the time in the world, and they're lying to you. Anybody that's really successful in this space has put a lot of time and effort in, and sometimes that means sacrificing, times with your loved ones to get where you want to go, because ultimately you're doing it for them, are you not? Like, I know I've sacrificed time with my family and friends, and there will be other times. There are times when my friends have caught up and gone to the movies and whatever, and I've been so snowed under that I've not gone, and it's just, it makes me feel bad. And it's like, what am I doing? I'm prioritizing work over that. And it's like, but I know what I'm working towards. And sometimes that's okay. Later down the track, I might not have to make any sacrifices, but we can't do this business not thinking that there's going to be any sacrifices. There are. The question is, are you willing to do it? Are you willing to make those sacrifices? Vivi, sometimes I feel like an awful mum having my kids play while I'm online, but I know it will pay off. Fortunately, sorry, the rest of your comments gone then. But yeah, especially those of you with kids, young kids, and you're on the phone all the time, or they say it. Mummy, can you get off your phone? Mummy, can you sit down with me? Like last night, I'd have to, my eldest son, Zach, was like, can you just sit on the couch for me for a while? And he just wanted my attention. And I had so many things to do and I didn't want to get into bed that late. So my mind was on my work. My son was needing me. So I actually did sit down with him and just thought, suck it up, Helen. He wants a cuddle. So I sat there and I cuddled with him. My mind's going, I need to get back to that. I need to finish this and whatever. But then I just like embraced the time. It's like, don't be stupid, Helen. This is your child. He wants you. And it was just beautiful. So sometimes we have to see those signals and just push it aside because this is more important. This is always more important. Like having a cuddle with Zach was more important than what I need to do. It's like if I get into bed later, I'll get into bed later. But there are other times that he will want me to do something and I'll go, mate, I just really have to finish this off. Can you give me half an hour or an hour and then I'll go and play with you? Whereas, if I dropped it all and played with him, then, there's always sacrifices. So we have to see that for what it is and be willing to do that because ultimately I'm doing it for them. So, we have to put that in perspective. But if you're not willing to ever do that, you won't be successful in this space. Sacrifices are needed. If you want to get where people don't normally go, you have to do things that people don't normally do. Okay? Jen, so many people just don't get home much time you need to put into a business. They don't see MLM as a real business. There was more to that, Jen, but the comment's gone already. Exactly. If you want to be and people, we say this all the time, but people don't treat this seriously. If you want your side gig to pay you like a business, treat it like a business. And not enough people do. It's just a side gig. That's what they call it. It's a side gig. No, it's actually a business. And then people complain about why they haven't got to where they want to go, but they actually haven't given it the time and attention a business does. Like a brick and mortar shop. When people have got a physical business, they have to open the doors. There are plenty of shops that you will walk by that somebody is sitting behind the counter and there are no customers. And they've probably not even made money for that day. Or they've got themselves and a staff member on who's, doing stock or whatever. They're paying somebody and they may not have made it that many sales for the day. But that's what they have to do in a bricks and mortar shop because you can't just have the doors closed. They have to be open. So how open is your business? How much work are you doing in it? Or are your doors closed because you're not sacrificing certain things? Okay? Number 3, do you have a backbone? How strong are you for this business? If you go to water when everybody says no, if you crumble when there's something negative going on around you, you're on social media and somebody gives you a bad comment or, something quite derogatory on a comment on social media, do you go to water? If you do, you're not made out for the entrepreneurial world. I'm not saying you have to be tough as nails, but you have to have a backbone for this business because it's just the way it is. You have to be able to stand in your 2 feet, hold your posture about the business that you're in to be able to make it in the first place because there's a lot of people want to bring us down. There's a lot of people that don't think positively about this industry. And so unless you've got posture and poise and you stand in your own 2 feet, know what you're fighting for you and your family, you'll get crushed. So do you have a backbone for it? So once again, I'm not saying you need to be like the Rock and you need to be as cold as ice and stuff like that. You just need to have a backbone to be able to handle sometimes the negativity, sometimes things don't go the way you want, sometimes you will fail. Failure is just a learning curve. It's not a bad thing. We need to get rid of failure and bad being the association. Failure is learning. Failure is not bad. Things don't go your way. It's not a failure. It's a lesson. What did I learn from that? It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean nothing's ever going to work out for you. It's just, that didn't go quite according to plan. What can I learn from it and do better the next time? So you've got to have a backbone for this industry. Otherwise, you'll get crushed. Okay? Monica, people will always have an opinion. And that opinion is not always going to be an opinion you want to hear. But do you have the backbone for it? I hope you do because you're going to need to. Particularly in this kind of industry, there's a lot of negativity surrounding it, but it's an amazing industry and it can afford you amazing things that the average person won't ever get because they weren't willing to go there themselves. If you're willing to go there yourself, put the hard yards in and have your backbone and all the rest of it, you'll have things in your life that people will never have because they weren't even game enough to go there in the first place. Okay? So we just got to be willing to sort of cut out the hard yards in the beginning to get where we want to go. It's not all smooth sailing, but that's the entrepreneurial life. Are you cut out for it? Okay, number 4. Are you a complainer and a whinger when things don't go your way? This is rife in this industry. This is what we call lack of self-responsibility. If something goes wrong, particularly within, say a network marketing company or direct sales or something like that, and something's not going your way, it's to do with the other people, it's to do with the upline, it's to do with the company, it's to do with the products, it's due to a change that the company made, and everyone freaks out because nobody likes change. There's always something that people want to complain about. So if you're a complainer and a whinger and that's your natural personality trait, you won't make it in this industry because nothing will ever be good enough for you. You won't be able to troubleshoot things when they go wrong. You won't be able to see the positive in negative, situations. It's just, it's going to be hard for you to, troubleshoot and be positive when things aren't going your way. So if it's your natural trait to be negative and to complain and make all the things that are going wrong in your life or not happening in your business everybody else's fault, this is not the industry for you. This is not the business model for you. You're never going to be a successful entrepreneur. Don't mean to be blunt, but it's basically the way it is, because entrepreneurs don't think that way. They don't blame things on other people. It's like, well, this is not the ideal situation, but what can I learn from that? What's working? What's not working? What can I do differently? Okay, I need to stay away from that person because they're breeding too much negativity on me. I need to go and gravitate towards this person or another mentor or another community of people that have got my back. Those kind of things. So if you're a complainer and a whinger, you're not going to last as an entrepreneur with a side gig because you're always going to be looking to blame somebody else instead of looking for a solution. We need to be solution solvers, problem solvers, troubleshooting. That's the way your mind has to think and where your brain has to go when things aren't going right, instead of being that negative person and complaining and blaming everybody else. Okay. Number 5, are you prepared to fail and take risks? Are you prepared to do the things that you know that may not work? Are you prepared to approach that person that you know may say no? Are you prepared to put your money in your pocket and pay for some training or mentorship or, joining a network marketing business or, something else, not knowing that it's going to be a given success? Are you willing to fail before you succeed? Are you willing to take risks? Are you willing to take the actions that scare the shit out of you? And I don't say that lightly, because if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to step out of your comfort zone. Are you willing to do that? This is what the entrepreneurial world is all about. This is what building a successful side business is all about. It's about getting uncomfortable. Success is on the other side of your comfort zone. So if you are comfortable in your pajamas, sitting on your lounge, watching your favorite TV show, knowing that you should be prospecting people or doing a live video or planning your business for the next week or planning your topics for your Facebook Lives for the following week, whatever it is that you're doing, then it's not enough. You have to do things you don't want to do. You have to get uncomfortable. You might even have to spend money that you don't have. That's what successful entrepreneurs do. Often the most successful entrepreneurs are those that were dead broke and there was no other option. I see so many success stories from people that had nothing and they were really, really struggling and they just had to make it work. So they were hungry for it. Hungry. So there was no other option. They just made it happen. People that are comfortable and got money behind them and it doesn't really matter, sometimes they aren't as successful as the people that were on the bones of their ass because they're not as hungry for it. They're not willing to get as uncomfortable for it because they've got a safety net. So are you willing to take risks? Are you willing to fail at certain things to have the lessons you need to learn to get where you want to go? If you're not willing to fail, if you're not willing to get uncomfortable, if you're not willing to prospect people that you know the answer might possibly be no, if you're not willing to do Facebook Lives because it scares you and you're worried about whatever other people think, you're probably not going to be a successful entrepreneur. Okay? So think about that. Now, you might be sitting there going, I've got traits of all of these things. It doesn't mean you can't be successful as an entrepreneur. It's mean training your brain to concentrate on what's important. And what do you want? What do you want? If you want something more than you have now, then you need new skills. Because if you had all the skills, then you would already be where you want to be. You would already have a successful business because you have the skills that you need to grow a successful business. If you don't have a successful business, you don't have the skills currently that you need to grow a successful business, or you're not doing the things that you know you need to do to have a successful business. So, question is, are you willing to learn those skills, invest in things that scare you, all of that kind of stuff, to learn the skills to get to where you need to go? It's frustrating when people's, they want different results. They want. They want the more income. They want a successful side business. Want. Okay, well, how much time have you got per week to put into this? Oh, only a couple of hours. What, over 7 days? You've only got a couple of hours? Yeah. Okay. You can't be as serious about it as you're telling me you're serious about it, because everybody can find pockets of time. The most successful business people in the world still only have 24 hours a day. Everybody has the same 24 hours a day. It just means you're not prioritizing. You just don't care that much deep down. You want it, but you don't want to do the work. Okay? So you have to be willing to get uncomfortable and do the work if you want the success on the other side of it. Okay, where am I? Number 6. Are you in it for the long haul? This industry and being a successful entrepreneur requires years. Guys, not 6 months, not 3 months. People say to me, I've been in this business for 3 months or 6 months and I haven't made any money yet. Okay, what are you doing? Well, not a lot. What kind of things have you done to make yourself uncomfortable? Nothing. Okay, so how valid is that? You've got to be in this for the long haul. We don't, so anything that really, seriously, if somebody make money rich scheme, whatever, it probably is a scheme. We don't make money, it doesn't grow off trees. We got to work for it. Yes, you can do things and go into business models and network marketing. People can make a lot of money very fast. But for it to be sustainable, you have to become a successful entrepreneur, because you know what happens, guys? Those people that come in fast, make a lot of money fast, have no idea really the skills it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. They are not there 6 months to 12 months later because they didn't know how to sustain it, and they probably self-sabotage themselves. Happens all the time. How many people do you see come in after you? They rise to the top, and then 6 months to 12 months later, where are they? Where have they gone? They didn't know what it took to put the hard yards in to be successful as an entrepreneur long term. So, people's expectations are all skewed when it comes to this industry and when it comes to being a successful entrepreneur. For you to grow into a thriving leader and successful entrepreneur takes years. So, put that into perspective for yourself. I had to do a check-in of this when I was looking at my results online. So, if you don't know much about me, I went to uni and I did accounting first. Then I did a Bachelor of Business majoring in marketing. Then I went into law and I got really sick. I got a disease. I couldn't walk. Had to rehabilitate in a hydrotherapy pool to get my arms and legs working again, all that kind of stuff. So gone through, all of that study and all the rest of it, worked through the corporate career, spent 16 years in my last job. Got to the point of general manager because I'd done all my study and worked my way up. 16 years. So gone to uni, whatever you call it, college or whatever, we call it university here. Did all of that. Like, it took me years and years and years and years to grow into becoming a general manager. So I move into the online world and network marketing and whatever, and I'm feeling like a failure. Why isn't this moving? Why aren't people saying yes? Why aren't people seeing the opportunity that I saw? Why aren't I making lots of money by now? And I had to take a step back and go, hang on, how long have you been in this business? I knew nothing about building a business online successfully, like 2 years ago. And I'm comparing a 16-year career in the corporate world of learning skills and stuffing up, and then my boss, pulling me up, and growing from mentors in the corporate world, like years. We come over to this online world and we get disappointed when we're not making lots of money in 6 months to a year. And it's like, hang on, let's put that into perspective. Do I have the skills to build a successful business online or do what I need to do to make lots of money? No, I knew nothing about this world, social media and attraction marketing and building a brand online and all that kind of stuff. I knew that was not my history at all. Not my skill level. So it's like, hang on, where's your expectations? And so I put that into perspective. We all want things to happen faster than they do. But check in with your skill level, guys. Were you born to be an entrepreneur? Have you been selling lemonade on lemonade stands since you were 5 years old? Have you grown with your parents through the entrepreneurial world? Like, do you have skills that you grew up with to be a successful entrepreneur? If you didn't, and everybody around you is the 9-to-5er, which is what society dictates that we do, is, go to school, maybe you do college or something afterwards. If you do, supposedly you get a better job if you've got more skills, whatever, and then you retire and you hope you got enough money at the end of it. That's what society dictates that we do. So we go into this entrepreneurial world and I'm going to make money a different way. I don't want to live to the 9-to-5 and all the rest of it, and that's awesome. But do you have the skills to do it? If you do not have the skills to do it, you've never bought a course, you've never got any training from a mentor, then please put that into perspective. You probably do not have the skills. Do you have any knowledge about how the brain and psychology works about people to sell them something? Have you got any training in that area? Then you're probably saying all the wrong things. So just really put that into perspective. Are you in for the long haul? Because that's actually what it takes. You look at anybody that goes through the progression of a corporate career, there are stages that you go through before you get to become the boss. Entrepreneurial world is no different. You got stages and skills and lots of things you need to learn before you become the successful entrepreneur. Okay? Last one. I'm learning this one. Do you take care of yourself? I can tell you firsthand in this kind of world, you just want to learn as much as you can. You throw yourself into everything. You just, you're looking at this training and that training. And then when you do that, who are you leaving behind in the process? Some of you guys might know about me. I used to be really, really fit only a couple of years ago. I was at the gym 6 days a week. I still teach at the gym. I teach a pump class, whatever. But there are some weeks, guys, that is the only exercise I do for the week. And my students are now lifting heavier weights than me, and I'm the instructor. Why is that? Is because I don't stop. And so, you just can't do that to be a successful entrepreneur. Everybody knows that to be the most successful entrepreneurs are the ones that are quite fit. They make time, for their family and exercise and, all the rest of it. You often see videos of them, like Mel Robbins. She does yoga a lot and she does that. She does a lot of videos after the yoga studio, whatever. She keeps herself fit and healthy because you have to be a successful entrepreneur. So if you are sluggish, if you are tired, if you are not looking after yourself, if you're not prioritizing your time and being really organized about what you need and what your business needs and maybe what your full-time job needs because this is the gig on the side, then you're not going to make it as an entrepreneur. I've gone through times where I'm exhausted and I still do, and it's because I'm not prioritizing myself, my sleep, my exercise. Everything in my life is better when I exercise. So I'm changing that. But I go through in and out of things depending what's going on. But my point is, do you look after yourself? If you are really sluggish, like you don't have a lot of energy, you're not exercising, you eat quite poorly, it's going to be harder to be a successful entrepreneur because you have to be on your game all the time to be a successful entrepreneur. You can be more productive in an hour when you're feeling good and your brain is sharp and you've got that mental clarity than somebody that's sluggish, staying up all night to watch training after training, and then they watch the training and they forget what they watched because they're so tired that they have to go and watch it again. Like being alert and having mental wellness and being sort of fit and active and feeling pretty good about yourself actually makes you a successful entrepreneur. Ask any really successful entrepreneur and they'll tell you how important it is to look after yourself to get to the state of being a successful entrepreneur. Have a look at the people that you look up to, that you know that are successful entrepreneurs. Majority of them, I mean, we can't say 100% because that's not realistic, but majority of them probably look after themselves quite well. Or they have enough money that they have people to help look after themselves, like they might have a chef or something like that, which you guys will have no doubt one day too. When you get rich and famous, you can have your own chef and personal trainer and all the rest of it. That's what we're striving for, and they're on your back going, all right, I'm on your doorstep at 5:30 a.m. We're going for a run. Like when you get those kind of people in your corner, when you have lots of money, it can help. So I hope that's your reality somewhere along the line. Okay, Michelle. Oh my God, I needed this message now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are welcome. I'm glad that it resonated with you, Michelle. Rebecca, you need to look after yourself. You do, because you just can't be productive. And when we're an entrepreneur, you need to be productive. You need to do things that you don't really want to do, and you won't do them if you're not feeling good about yourself. You just won't. It's the last thing you feel like doing. When you're on it, and you're feeling good and you're feeling healthy, you're going to be more enthused to do the things that you don't want to do, because there's always things being an entrepreneur that you're just not going to want to do certain things. So if you're not on top of your game, you won't do them because you're not going to feel like it and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Katie, my husband's a chef. Oh, I wish I had a chef as a husband. Check that one off the list of success. Well, you've got something in your corner there. Lucky you. I wish I had the same. My husband does not like to cook. He's never learnt to cook. So it's just one of those things that I have to try to fit in the day. And I'm not one of these female, sorry ladies, that loves cooking. And I tell you why. That comes from my background. My mum passed away when I was 14, and cooking became a chore in our household. It was something I didn't know how to do. I was thrown into it, this responsibility, and it was just, and we're busy and school and then working life, had to fend for myself, and cooking was just another thing I had to fit in my day. So I wasn't brought up with a loving, warm cooking kitchen, stuff like that. So it's not high on my priority list because I'm busy, and I feel like I've missed out a bit with the cooking bug because it's not my thing. So but my husband is no better. I do my best. My kids eat healthy. It's okay. But yeah, I wish I had a chef too. Monica, I do not like cooking. I know I wish, I hear a lot of women say how much they love cooking, and I wish I had that because I don't. But anyway, that's just a little bit more about me. I need somebody to come and cook for me. So when I make my millions, which will happen one day, guys, as it will with you, then I can take better care of ourselves as far as cooking goes. But anyway, I have spoken for long enough. Vivi, I didn't turn your timer on today, and I'm over time, but I hope you found this useful. This is critical. I won't apologize for talking longer than I need to when I think this is really, really important for your success. So I raise things like this to raise your level of awareness, because if you don't take stock of how important these things are for you, then you're going to be one of these people that struggles for years and years and years, and you might be wasting your time. Maybe you're not cut out for it. Now, I don't want to put any of you off. I just want you to realize what it takes. So raise your level of what it takes and bring yourself up to the party, not drag yourself down and say, well, that's not me. Say, yeah, my life is worth it. I want to have things that the average person doesn't have. So I have to realize that I have to do things that the average person isn't going to do. And some of those things I'm not going to like. But it's what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. So take stock of where you're at. Take stock of what you might need to concentrate on. And do those things. Now, for those of you that need a little bit of help with organizing, I'm starting my Business Boost Bootcamp tomorrow. So day one, we're talking about networking. How do you network with more people and, grow your network on Facebook? How do we organize those people on Facebook that we're networking with? Day two is about becoming productive and continuing this conversation really, and coming up with a daily method of operation, something that's suitable to you to make sure that you are productive and consistent and you're getting things done. And day three is about the marketing side of things, like some copywriting skills, and I'm going to run through some things, the latest updates on Facebook as well. So if you want to be part of that boot camp, it is run out of my private coaching community. Where are my online crew leaders? Are you still on with me? Here, put the cruise ship down below, guys. Let us know that you're here on live, my online crew leaders that are in my coaching community. So you have to get into my coaching community to get access to the boot camp. The details are all above. Just take out the spaces of the link, put it in Google, and it'll give you the information that you need. If you have any questions around that, send me a message off my page. There's a blue button at the top of my page that says send message. Connect with me and we can talk about it, okay? Thank you for those of you that have been on with me this long time. It was a little bit of a longer live, but I do think it's very important information, okay? So success to you. I hope you all are successful entrepreneurs and that you're doing the things that you know you need to do, or if you're not doing them all, that you're working towards it. No one's perfect. I'm far from perfect in this entrepreneurial world. I am still learning. And I'm still learning to look after myself in this entrepreneurial world. It was easier for me to look after myself in the corporate world than it is in the entrepreneurial world. But that comes down to me. No one else makes you happy but you. No one else controls your life but you. No one can make me fit and healthier and happier but me. No one can build my business but me. It's all down to me, as it is for you. Okay, so assess where you're at and what you need to change to get where you want to go. Okay? Beck, I missed the beginning and we'll have to go back and check out the replay. No worries, that's what the replay is there for. So I will see you guys, same time, same place tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you then. Have an awesome day, evening, whatever part of the day it is for you. See you guys. Let me know if that was helpful, by the way. Give me your comments down there. Okay. Thank you, Katie. Bye.